Ladies and gentlemen, this ZFLIP 3 has been my companion for the past 7 months. It was with me when I first started this YouTube channel, it was there for me when my business failed, but as strange as it might sound, I always felt like the end was really near. Look, I'm not trying to write a romantic love story between a phone and its user, that's super cringe. But that's really what it's been. Like one of those dramas where the guy and the girl, they love each other, but both of them have cancer. Like you know it's gonna end bad. That's how it's felt. That's how it's been for the past 7 months. There were so many things that could go wrong that even though it was an absolutely blissful time, I really love this device, it's finally time to say goodbye. So like Fossil, what went wrong? You know, did the screen finally shatter at the crease? Did the hinge start failing? Are there dead pixels? Calm your tits, relax. We're gonna get into it. And before we do, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to this small channel. It's a small but growing channel and it's all thanks to you guys. It really helps me out. Thank you very much. On with the video. So first of all, I'm going to talk about some issues that I've started to have now that it's been 7 months, and they primarily have to do with the software and the user experience. For example, one of the things that I used to do a lot was use the split screen mode. So obviously I would run one app on the top half and one app on the bottom half. That's not working like it did before. I enabled split screen for every app. So in the past, I could do my favorite combo, have Google Chrome up on top and Instagram on the bottom. That was my favorite combo and it worked for the past 6 months. But recently, anytime I open Chrome in split screen view, it automatically shuts down all my apps and it also closes Chrome and I need to reload Chrome. And it loses all my tabs as well. I've done all the updates, I've done all the online troubleshoots, nothing is working. It continues to crash my device basically every time I open up Chrome in split screen. Another issue I noticed is with loading some apps. For example, I get comments on my YouTube videos and I like to respond to a lot of you guys. So it opens up the loading screen of the app itself. And I'll be sitting there for like 5 minutes, not really, because nothing ever happens. It just stays stuck on that loading screen for the specific app. I then have to close the app and reopen it about 3 to 4 times before it finally loads the entire app and opens up the comments so I can reply to it. Now, if I just go in and open up the YouTube Studio app, there's no problem. But if I do it after a notification, so if I get a notification, I click that notification to open the app, that's where the problem is, and that's where it keeps getting stuck, not just for YouTube Studio, but for other apps as well, and that's also really annoying. But honestly, just these bugs aren't enough to make me want to put down this phone. It still has a lot of other things I really love. There have been no slowdowns, there's been no lag, none of that 7 months later. It's still just as fast as day one, but of course with these few new bugs that I've started to experience. But the more exciting news, and for those of you who are maybe thinking about buying this device, or maybe some of you guys who own it right now, is the Good Lock app. Basically, this is an app that a few private developers build, but they are backed by Samsung, so this is a Samsung app. And it basically is bringing a new functionality to the cover screen. Now I say new, basically you're able to run every single app on the cover screen. I know this has been done already, but those were third-party apps by some other developers, which weren't so secure. But this time it's coming straight from Samsung, so you know, probably no bugs, and it should be much more better integrated. But the problem is that I've consistently said, who watches YouTube on the cover screen? Why would you ever do that to yourself when you have a 6.7-inch screen right when you fold it? Like, there's no real reason for me to use every app on the cover screen. Some apps, like Google Maps, for example, to use the GPS, makes sense. You know, you can be in your car, you don't need to open up the device fully, you can have the maps on, and that can help you preserve the battery, but also get to where you're trying to get to. That I understand, but for most other apps, things like that don't really make sense. But the good news is that there is still development, there is still update going on for the ZFLIP 3, even though we've seen the rollout of the S22 series and a bunch of other technology. This really hasn't left the table. The build, let me just get into that really quick, is also perfectly fine. There has been no damage to the hinge. There's been no damage to any of the metal around the or the aluminum around the body of the device as well. I do have it covered in this matte black Rinky case linked down below. It's done a fantastic job of keeping my phone just as good looking as it was day one. So why?
The key is to be honest with yourself.
Is this the end of the road? I just went over a few really good things I like about this device, a few bad things, but I did say they weren't enough to make me put this phone down, so why am I putting it down? Well, something really important changed, and something that started off as a very small problem ended up becoming gigantic. When I first purchased this phone, I did my 1 month later review on it, and I mentioned that this phone was perfect for a very specific kind of user, and that anyone else trying to use it wouldn't like it anymore after the honeymoon phase ended. This phone was perfect for the person taking care of urgent things, notifications, replying to messages, doing a little bit of YouTube and Instagram, things like that, but really spent most of their time off of the device. And the main reason for that was battery. Not the performance. The performance is amazing. Not the display is amazing. Not the processor, that's amazing. It's the battery. Now, and over the past 6 updates I've made on this device, I continuously said that the battery was getting me through the entire day just fine. I would end the day with like 9-10% left, put it on charge overnight, and that was it. But this year, starting kind of in January 2022, I realized that I'm going on my phone a lot more than I used to. I'm flipping this thing open a lot more than I used to in the past. In the past, I would knock most of the stuff out right on this cover screen. But this year, things are taking a bit of a turn. And because I'm doing more on my device, the battery isn't getting me through the entire day like it used to. Now, to be clear, the battery drain is just like day one. It hasn't, drained faster. There hasn't been any sort of issues on the battery side of things. It really is that my usage has started to increase. As some of you might know, I own a small side business, a really tiny little side business. I've got college going on. I've got YouTube now going on as well. And so there's a lot of things that I've started taking on. Last year when I first purchased this device, I was thrown out by my business. So this was my business that I thought I would, own forever, and I got kicked by all the investors. So I literally just had a breakup with my business. I was at that point thinking about going back to college. And so it was just this phase where I was just like, why not start a YouTube channel, have some fun, which is exactly what I did. And I bought this phone for that because at the time, the only thing that was on my mind was just brushing up on some college stuff before going back to college and working on my YouTube channel, and this was perfectly fine for that. But more recently, the business genes in my body have started to come back, and I really, have started pushing that more and more. I want to get back into it. And so I worked hard, got back into my company, threw out all the people who ousted me. It wasn't really exactly like that, but you get the idea. And now I'm kind of back in the flow that I was before. I'm working on business, I'm getting contracts, I get phone calls day in and day out. I need to go over a bunch of sheets and things like that, and I need to request revisions. So, a manager might send me a monthly report, and I find that something is wrong here. I need to make a revision and send it back. And why don't you guys guess which phone I used before this when I was actively involved in business? That's right, it was the Galaxy Note series. But coming back to the Z Flip, when it comes to battery, it is very restricting. If this had better battery, I would not be considering giving this away. But battery is just one of those things that it doesn't let you kind of evolve beyond it. It's not a device that can kind of grow with you if the battery isn't good enough. If it's not good, you're simply restricting yourself from getting anything extra done because the phone just can't take it. So all in all, why am I giving this device back? Why is this the end of the road? Simply because it's not letting me grow anymore. I can't do the things that I want to do, the new challenges that I'm taking on. I can't get through them efficiently with this device. What I end up trying to do is trying to find a computer or a laptop or a monitor to get things done, because I know if I kind of spend that extra time on this, I'm not going to be able to have it for the ride home later in the afternoon, things like that. And that's just super annoying. I want to be able to get things done on my phone now that I'm actually working hard on these things. So what am I thinking? I am thinking about going from the Z Flip 3 to the Galaxy Note S22. Or sorry, oh, that's a we can't say that. I am very sorry. Annyeonghaseyo. Basically, I am thinking about going to the Galaxy S22 Ultra. But there also have been a few battery issues with that as well on Samsung reviews and things like that. Quite a few issues. I'm going to be sitting down in my podcasting studio and we're going to go through the entire checkout process to kind of show you guys exactly which one I buy and some of the reviews that I've been seeing with the battery concerns, but I'll make a review on that device later. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's review, please make sure to like this video and subscribe. Really helps me out, grows a small channel like mine, and I appreciate it. Until next time, take it easy. Peace.